Well, I've kind of reached the end of where I can see the next worksheet tab. Good time to talk about the 4 controls in the bottom left-hand corner. These controls let us scroll through one worksheet at a time so we can bring more worksheets into view. I'm sure you knew about these controls, but I bet you didn't know that you can right-click and see a list of all the sheets. Great tip. Let's go on to the Census tab. This example is a great example for anyone in human resources where you need to keep track of your new employees. We have employees in column A, their hire date in column B, and a date in column C that shows off today. You'll notice out to the right-hand side I've typed in a list of the company holidays that are relevant during this period. I need to figure out how many work days the person has been on staff. Both of these functions are brand new in the core Excel, but they've been in the Analysis Tool Pack in previous versions. So the first function we're going to use is called the net workdays function. This finds the number of workdays between two dates. We have to specify the start date, that's in cell B2, and then the ending date, that's in C2, and then optionally a range that contains a list of holidays. Excel will not include these holidays as workdays. I want that reference to be absolute, so I'll hit the F4 key. Closing parentheses, Control-Enter to accept the formula, and we'll see that Gloria's been here for 17 days. As I double-click the fill handle, we'll very quickly see how many days everyone has been here. Now let's say that this company has a 60-day probation period. Go to cell E2. This time we want to use the new function workday. We'll type equal workday, specify the starting date. Say that the probation is 60 days, so we want to see 60 days after the start date, factoring in these holidays. Again, I'll hit F4 to make that be absolute. Closing parentheses, Control-Enter. That's the right answer. Wrong format. Remember on the last sheet, I changed the sheet to always show dates. I need to change this cell. I'll go up to the number tab and choose short date. Perfect. They were brought in on December 16th, 30 work days, ignoring holidays, is March 12th. Double-click the fill handle, and we'll have an end date for everyone's probationary period. Those are both great new additions to the date functionality of Excel. Hey, let's move on to the timesheet application. Now, if Excel stores dates as numbers, Excel stores times as fractional periods of a day. Here's an example. 24 hours is the number 1. Noon, then, is the number 0.5. 6 a.m. is the number 0.25. 6 p.m. is the number 0.75. Let me show you how this works. I'll come to a cell, I'll type in 0.25 and Control-Enter, and now format that cell as a time. Sure enough, Excel converts that to 6 a.m. because 6 a.m. is 25% of a day. Well, this works out pretty well and means that we're able to do calculations from an end time to a start time just by doing a simple subtraction. The formula here is B3 minus A3. The format is a little strange. Let's go into Format Cells, Control-1, and take a look to see if there's other time formats that would be more appropriate. Instead of saying 8:30 a.m., if I use this format, the 1330 format, it will show me 8:30. That means the person worked 8.5 hours on this day. I'll copy this formula down by dragging the fill handle, and you can see that they worked 4 hours on Tuesday, 9.5 hours on Wednesday, 8.5 hours on Thursday and Friday. Click in the total cell in C8 and use the AutoSum button. I hope your payroll director is not using Excel to track your timesheets. If so, you're only going to get paid 15 hours for this work week that was almost 40. What's going on? How could Excel have this problem? Remember that Excel stores times as a fraction of the number 1. In this particular case, the person has worked more than 24 hours, like most of us would, and has in fact worked 39 hours this week. Excel doesn't want to show us the day portion because it really thinks that we have probably formatted this cell to show dates and times. If I go to the date category, scroll down, and choose date and time, you'll see that Excel has moved forward and it now has 1 day and enough hours to get us to 3 p.m. That's 15 hours. The solution to this is very obscure. If you look through the time formats, there's an option called 37:30:55. This is the format that tells Excel to show hours in excess of 24. You specifically have to go into Format Cells and choose that obscure time function in order to make your timesheets work.